So if you're like me, you saw this CNBC headline today, and it suggests that millennials being quote-unquote stingy is the reason why the economy isn't taking off. That the lower consumer spending driven by stingy millennials is stopping economic growth. And so there you have it, right? Millennials can't win. Either we're avocado toast spendthrifts who can't afford housing because of that avocado toast, or we're saving so much money that the economy is struggling to keep itself going because of us. But here's the thing. The reason we're quote-unquote stingy is because we're poor and because we're scared of the future. Both of those things combined. Because if you don't make a lot of money, you have to save everything because you're one misfortune away from homelessness or a dental surgery you can't afford or having to move back in with your parents or what have you. But beyond that, even if you make a decent little bit of cash in terms of your actual wage, there's so much insecurity for young people. Your job might pay well, but it's only a 6-month contract. Or you don't have health and dental benefits, so you have to save for that. Or you know that there's no pension waiting for you at 65, so you have to save extra money now. Or you know that housing and childcare and other costs associated with starting a family are exorbitant compared to previous generations, and so you have to save money there as well. And so in that sense, there's a lack of confidence from young people. And we've heard this term confidence as it applies to the economy, but it almost always is applied to investors, to capitalists, to big corporations. And the narrative from sources like CNBC and other business publications and business networks and business websites is that low investor confidence is a bad thing. That if investors feel the economy is weak, or if investors feel that there's no profit to be made, they do not have confidence, they will not make investments or will not make as many investments, and that will lead to lower jobs, and that will lead to lower wages, and that will lead to lower productivity, and that'll lead to lower economic growth, and on and on and on. So that's always code for, well, we have to cut wages. We have to increase corporate subsidies. We have to lower environmental regulations. We have to bust unions and make it easier to bust unions. We have to do all the sorts of things that make things easier for businesses to make money, often by exploiting workers and the community and the land and the environment broadly defined. That's how we increase investor confidence. Yet, in pieces like this, what's really missing from the discourse, maybe they noted in some sense, but what's missing is trying to find a solution, is we're not talking about consumer confidence. We're not talking about the fact that millennials are scared of the future. We're scared of not having a job a year from now. We're scared about not having benefits. We're scared about not having pensions. We're scared about the cost of childcare and the cost of housing. We're scared about all of those things rising while our wages stagnate. And all of that is leading us to this situation where, even relatively low-income millennials will try to squirrel away as much money as they can because there is no alternative. This idea that millennials are irresponsible is wrong. In fact, we're eminently responsible. We're trying to be as responsible as we can to prevent financial disaster by saving extra money, but we just don't have a lot of it. If people want us to spend like the boomers did in the 1970s, the economy needs to exist like it did for the boomers in the 1960s and 70s or 1950s for their parents. We need good jobs. We need stable jobs. We need pensions. We need benefits. We need good social programs. We need good social safety nets. We need to feel confident that if you take those little luxuries, you take that extra vacation, you buy that new TV, you buy that new car, you install a pool at your house, you do all these sorts of things, that you won't be destitute 6 months later because of the systemic insecurity of the economy. And so people will spend if they feel secure in spending. They will do that 100%, but they don't. For the vast majority of millennials, there is no meaningful security. There's none. There's precarity. There's a lack of benefits. There's a lack of hours. There's a job that may not exist in 6 months. The job will exist, but because it's on contract, it might not exist for you. You might just be unemployed. You might get fired on the last day before you become a permanent worker, and on and on and on. These are the things that affect millennials. This is the context of millennials being quote-unquote stingy. We don't make enough, and we're not secure enough. So the next time you hear this argument that millennials are being so stingy that it's hurting the economy, let people know that until we get security in our employment And until we have the social safety nets that give us confidence that that little luxury we buy won't be sacrificing the dental surgery we need next week, then we're going to continue to be stingy, quote unquote. And we're going to continue to have poor confidence in the economy going forward. And if people want that to change, if businesses want that to change, if retail outlets want that to change, well, then they should push for policies at the local and regional and national levels that center workers and center people as needing confidence in the economy for the economy to do well. We do not have that right now. Millennials do not have that, and we're right to not have that. So don't blame us. Don't blame the avocado toast. Don't blame being stingy. Blame a system that has scared us all to death and makes it so that all we can do is squirrel a little bit away, even if that won't be enough.